it's the norm for these interactions with him. It's happened, it's the 5th time. I mean, if you don't start to get used to it, then you don't learn from things. So I'm a person that learns.
But how personal is that? Because like we saw it there, but it was like something backstage as well.
Yeah, you know, there are certain things you don't do. You know, you don't. I've never attacked his family or anything like that. You know, even his coaches and management, I always say hi to them because it's between Jon and I. All these other people, they're not involved. So my kids are 5 and 6 years old. You don't mention a man's children in regards to a fight. So
when you mention prostitution, is there an implication there?
Yeah, of course. He does it all the time. It's not his family. He sleeps with prostitutes. He does. You guys need to open your eyes. I don't know why you guys pretend that you're dealing with somebody that we're not dealing with. You sit up here and you got this starry-eyed look in your face like you don't know who this guy is. Come on.
Well, I understand, but when you say you don't want to bring his family into it, doesn't that sort of in a roundabout way?
Well, what did he do first? What did he do? He talked about my children. You don't bring that in there. You don't do that. And trust me, nothing.
Do you think he's going to show up, or do you think something's going to happen? How do you feel about this fight? Is that something that concerns you at this point?
Cautiously optimistic is what I'm saying. I'm optimistic, but I'm cautious. Because he always finds a way to mess up. Nobody's been through this with him more than me. So.
After the last weigh-in, you said to someone on Embedded, this was the last time you were cutting the weight. Was that Daniel Cormier not having a lot of food in the system?
That was Daniel Cormier starving. Yeah, I'm going to go to fight that guy. But reality is, I could have made him fight a heavyweight if I wanted to. It was my call. I'm the champion. I'm in charge. I've been here for the last 2 years. So if I wanted that fight a heavyweight, it could have been a heavyweight. But I think for the belt, it's better.
After the fight with Anthony, you know, how much in this path after your last fight with Jones, how better as a fighter, how do you improve?
Well, I've got to get better. I mean, I'm constantly looking for ways to improve, you know, so fights don't always go as you think they will, you know. With Rumble, you know, the first time we fought, I beat him in the 3rd round. This time I beat him in the 2nd round. And now it's almost as if I fought worse, you know, because I think the scale at which I'm being judged is a lot different than a lot of other people. So I feel good, man. I'm happy with what I've been doing. 19-1. I'm the UFC light heavyweight champion. I have no complaints.
So late this June, we have Gustafsson against Glover. You think probably the next contender is going to be there? Maybe like if something happens, they can replace it.
I mean, I tell you one thing. I'd rather fight Jon Jones than Alexander Gustafsson again because that dude ran me through the ringer. If Alexander wins again, I think he can be in position with 2 wins. But I believe Jimmy Manuwa deserves it. You know, he was a legit possibility for this one. But I said I'd rather fight Jon Jones. You know, so if Jimmy's upset with anybody, it's me because I wanted the biggest fight possible. I mean, every time, you know, and I think people kind of, I think when everything's being discussed, people miss this. Every time something happens and the fight gets pushed back, I age. I'm 38 years old, you know, so it's not like I have the most time to be waiting around for this guy to take tune-up fights and do this and do the other. So I need it to happen, you know, because every time it gets delayed or every time I don't fight him, I just keep getting older.
And you need this for your, like...
I need it for me. Yeah, it's for me. I'm a competitive guy. You know, I'm a competitive guy, you know, so when people say stuff to me like, oh, you're only champion because he left, you don't think that like, if anybody has like any issue with the way that I won the belt, it's me. I would have won. I mean, I'm the guy that would have liked to have beat him to win the title, but I didn't have to. He did things to get himself into trouble. If he would have been back, we'd have fought last summer. I would have been fine with that. I want this more than anybody else. So when Jimmy was an option, yes, I did say I want to fight Jon Jones.
Well, you mentioned getting older. Wouldn't beating Jones be the perfect way to go out? Like if you beat Jones, do you consider walking away and saying, I did this and this is the cherry on top of a great career? You
know, before I used to say, the only thing I have not done in this career is become the UFC champion. Now I've done that. I've done that 3 times. I've fought for the belt and won 3 times. I mean, the only thing I have not done in this entire sport is to beat Jon Jones. That's it. If I want to walk away, I can walk away. I'm fine, man. Like, you know, I don't, again, like I'm not a guy that's without mistakes in my life. But I'm older now, so I've learned to really do better. So I've done a lot of good things with my money, and I've done well in my career. I've set up a future for myself with Fox Sports. So, I mean, I don't really need this for those reasons anymore. I do this for competitive and competitive only. And competitively, I need to beat Jon Jones.
All right, thank you, Daniel.
Some guys get close to each other, though. Like, it seems that there's a fire and the rivalry gets bigger. Some fighters post up a video on Instagram showing, like, you guys having the brawl in the backstage.
Yeah, you know.
Talk about that. Like,
well,
how does it feel to have that?
Well, I sat down because we weren't supposed to be in those seats. We were supposed to be in the 2 nearest seats to the podium. And he looked over at me, and I looked at him, and he's smiling. And I go, what? And he goes, I think you're funny. I go, why? He goes, because you actually think you can beat me. I go, I don't think. I know I will. And he goes, based on what? And I don't even know if I even said anything. But then he went into something about, how's it going to feel to tell your children you never... And I was like, don't mention my children ever. You know? So I tried to hit him. And they came running in there. And then he jumped up. You know, he likes to do, shut up, shut up, shut up. Because he doesn't have anything to say. He's fried most of his brain cells with the drugs that he does. So we just kind of got into it. We started arguing. You don't talk about a person's kids.
Sorry, did that start backstage?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was backstage. It's him. You know, every time. He's like, what is he? I mean, that's my thing. Like, what does he think? Does he really think I'm afraid of him, that he can say whatever he wants to me? That's insanity. Like, that'll never happen. It'll never happen. And, you know, like I told him up there, you know, there's like, everybody has 2 sides. You know, there's me here with you guys in the media. And there's me growing up in Louisiana. It's still there. I try not to be that person anymore. So sometimes it feels good to be able to go and just let loose. And that's still part of me. And he doesn't realize that, you know, you can't play with me like that. It's not a game.
I take it you're not buying his whole recovery story.
Not at all. No. He's been drunk the whole time. He got drunk going to Buffalo for the fight. He was drunk in the video with his barber. What are you talking about, sober? Andy.
Yes.
Could you guys please? Like, please, it's insulting. At this point, it's insulting. How are you guys not insulted? Like, really? It's insulting. Just open your eyes. That's all I want. All I want is for people to be realistic. Andy,
Yes.
is he sober?
I don't know.
If you had to, you don't know, but you're going to believe him because he says he is.
I wouldn't say that.
But come on, man. Come on, bud. I see you everywhere. I see you in Los Angeles. Like, we work together.
Yes, coworkers.
Come on, don't be crazy, man. You guys just open your eyes. It's fine. It is okay to live in the real truth. Right? Okay? All right? All right.